Yo, good morning. It is a balmy 41 here in Nampa, Idaho. Just got done doing my early morning workout, kicking off this beautiful but overcast Monday. Some days it's just kind of nice to have a little bit of overcast. Hear the birds are starting to chirp, and it's just a nice morning. Feels really good to be out and walking. Had a great workout. And this morning, while I was working out, I was watching this young lady. She was sharing some of the challenges that she had been going through with her family. Came from a very addictive and emotionally, physically, and based on her story, seemed a little bit of a sexually abusive situation. And she talked about how she had worked through her pain, her loss, her discouragement, and how for many years she was struggling with trying to learn how to trust, try to learn how to love, try to not become hardened in her heart and in her mind, and figure out a way to have hope and to be able to move through some of the messy and ugly things of life. And of course, it got me thinking about some of the challenges that we've gone through. All of us have gone through challenges. And I think one of the biggest challenges that hits us is when we feel like we've been betrayed by someone that we love, someone that we should be able to trust, who had our back, or who we thought had our back. And this disappointment, this angst can build up in our heart and leave us in a really dark place. In fact, it got me thinking about two men in particular in my life who even now, I mean, it's been years, I still have to really work through some dark thoughts that I have, because they were men who I looked up to, who were close to me, and who I thought I could rely on. And when push came to shove and a really tragic experience happened in our life, those men were nowhere to be found. In fact, one of these men, I actually went to because I felt that he was in a position where he could help me. So I reached out to him and said, "Hey brother, this is what's going on. You know kind of what's going on. You're interrelated with it in some ways. And I'm wondering if you would give me some time so that we could explore and talk through this." And he would just stonewall me. He just did not want to give me any time. He did not want to help me. And I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, man, dude, this is my bro. What's going on? Dude, I'm close to his family. I'm close to him. And why is he just putting up this wall and not wanting to help a brother out? And I kept pushing, and I'm not understanding. And finally, he said something that just pierced my heart. He said, "You know, Jody, there are two sides to a story." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, there's two sides to a story." I said, "Yeah, you're right. There are two sides to a story. The difference between you and me is I have heard and understand both sides of the story, and I could use your help." In the end, he decided not to help me, and it really left me frustrated and hurt, feeling abandoned. And like I said, this has been years, so these feelings in my heart, I'm still working through. And I think that one of the things that, as I was listening to this girl's story and I was listening to my story, one of the things that I personally prayed for And what this girl expressed in her talk this morning was that, it's like, I'm trying not to have a hardened heart. I'm trying to be loving and trusting and kind, to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think one of the challenges that we as humans have is that we get our feelings hurt, and our go-to response is we want them to not only hurt as bad as we did, but we want them to hurt more. We want them to get the hammer. But at the same time, we pray and yearn for grace. We pray and yearn to be given the benefit of the doubt. We pray and yearn for people to walk with us as we learn and grow. And I was thinking this morning, I think a lot of times, we seek for forgiveness, but we're slow to forgive others. And dude, I'm straight up, I'm trying to learn how to do it myself, right? But here's the thing. Those dark feelings of disappointment, of anger, the only person that they're really hurting is you. They're the ones, those are the feelings weighing on your heart. The other person has probably moved on. I think too, a lot of times we, in the name of principle and of what's right, we try to be judge, jury, and executioner instead of recognizing that everybody has messed up. Everybody is trying to figure it out. And somehow, in the midst of our hurt, one, we got to figure out how to be the strength while finding the strength. Two, we need to learn how to love when people don't deserve to be loved. And that includes ourselves, because I think sometimes we're a little bit hard on ourselves. We don't give ourselves love and grace. And the dark thoughts in your head of self-doubt and self-incrimination, they're destructive. And somehow we have to move to a place of love and hope and go, you know what? I wasn't at my best at this moment, but I'm going to move forward and I'm going to become the man or the woman that I'm inspired to be. And I'm going to try to inspire other people to be better versions of themselves. Because I think a lot of times we look outward and we go, oh, that person, they don't have it together. That guy's arrogant. That guy is unkind. He undermined me. He was not trustworthy. I think a lot of times we are praying for grace and we're yearning for grace, but we don't want to give grace to others. And I'm thinking about last week, I heard a great podcast, and I shared it actually, about the law of love. And I love the prodigal son. And in this podcast, they talked about it in a way that I had never thought about. They talked about it from the point of love. So on one hand, you have the prodigal son who goes off, makes a mess of his life, wastes his inheritance, ends up eating with the pigs and going, you know what? I need to go home. But you know what? I don't deserve to be home. So he goes home with his head hung down, and his dad, seeing him afar off, runs to him and extends to him love. And he doesn't feel like he deserves that love. And then you have the other brother who always tried to do the good thing. He was always at home doing his duty. And he was mad because his father was extending love to this brother who didn't live up to the standards that his dad set up. And he felt like he didn't deserve love, but rather he, as a righteous son, deserved the love. that he had earned it. But in the end, the Father loved both of them. And I think a lot of times we are sitting on the outside looking in, and we're praying for the demise and the destruction and the judgment to come down on other people. And those other people are just like you. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to find grace, to find love, to feel like they deserve to be loved. And it's tough. I get it. It's tough. It's tough to forgive. It's tough to love when people have hurt you. But remember, just like you're praying for love and grace and mercy, that other person is too. And they're trying to figure out how to get over the mistakes they made, how to mend the hearts, to fix the trail of tears behind them, and also move in a productive way. We're all trying to do that in some extent. So I guess my message today would be a message for my wife. She always says, you don't know the backstory. You don't know what they went through. You don't know what brought them to this point. So lead with love. You guys have a great day. See ya.